Of these three guns that we have setting here, the East German gun is in Makarov, and the Chinese gun is in Makarov, but the Russian gun actually is chambered for the 380, the American 380 round. The power of the two cartridges, the Makarov is the more powerful of the two, the 380 being less powerful. I won't say it's halfway between a 9mm and a 380, but it's up from a 380 and below a 9mm and a 9mm Luger in power. Remember, in Russia, they don't have things of real reliable quality, and their ammunition is no exception. And he's got a lot of little things built into it to make the gun a little more dependable. Because for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That means that whatever energy is put into the bullet is also put into the slide. But since the slide is many, many times heavier, the slide is going to move much slower. So there's no locking system as such. It relies on the mass of the slide to hold it closed enough that when there's pressure, the case won't blow out. So in other words, we simply have a piston driving the slide back, if you want to look at it that way. So there's no locking system in it to contend with at all. We have the slide, which has the mass, and we have around the barrel and captive by the front of the slide. There's no barrel bushing as such. The slide is machined down, and there's a hole for the barrel, but not big enough for the recoil spring to pass through. So when the gun is cycled or cycles, that spring is compressed. And you can see now, once that's off, then we can take a screwdriver or a small hook, and we can unhook the spring from the slide stop right there. And you just push it over, and it'll pivot down. Now this is unsprung now, you see, so the sear is unsprung. We lift the sear up, rotate it way over, and you can see when I get it over far enough, the right leg of the sear will... the guns tend to be a little heavy and the guns tend to be a little rough. The hammers are pretty hard. And you see a hump right here. That's your single action, or should I say that's your power stroke hump. In other words, when you cock the hammer, that compresses the spring. This surface, you'd be better off if you would stone this surface so it's smooth and not scrapey, rough. And you see, when I run the punch across it, you can probably hear it scraping. This surface we can't get at, but we can stone this surface to make it smooth, and even if you have a buffing wheel, buff it to make it smooth. And then, of course, on the mainspring, you do the same thing. You smooth this surface, and then this surface, and deburr it so that the rebounding will be smoother.